Good evening guys, sa mga watchers po natin. Hintayin lang po natin saglit yung um, na pumasok si Mr. Khron and Atty. Obuz mamaya. Saglit lang po. Wait. Message lang po natin si Sir Khron. Ayan, pero bago po ang lahat, magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. Live po tayo dito sa Israel Filipino Station. Ayan, just a second, Mr. Khron. I'm just doing a little bit of introduction. So, live po tayo dito sa Israel Filipino Station dito sa Jerusalem, Israel. And ang tatalakayin po natin ngayon is about special visa, humanitarian visa, and refugee visa, together with Mr. Khron and Atty. Ron Obuz. Okay. I'm going to add you already, Sir Khron. Sir Khron. Sir Tristan, magandang gabi rin po. Magandang gabi rin po sa inyo, Sir Tristan. I'm adding you already, Mr. Khron.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Mitch.
Good evening,
Good evening.
ladies and gentlemen, to our viewers, to Mr. Khron, the managing director of Hakeren Israel Foreign Workers Fund. And later, I believe that Atty. Ron will be also with us. Or is he there, Mr. Khron?
Attorney Ron will join us in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Meanwhile, good evening, everybody, brothers and sisters, whoever's watching us. Actually, not just Filipinos are watching us, since we have abroad. Since we have
even
abroad,
the other nations that
definitely
are working as caregivers also here. I believe we have Sri Lankans, Nepalese, Thailandese, and Indians also. That's why we included them in our topic for today. For tonight. I'm sorry.
That's beautiful. I really appreciate it, and this is a very good opportunity since we're having a lot of success being over here, and really people are happy to see and to ask their questions. It makes them feel good. This is the purpose over here, and I really appreciate Mitch and the team of Israel Filipino Station. More power to you people. I see that everybody is very excited. There is a great new movement over here that people could speak freely and understand and ask questions about their daily concerns, which is very important. So thank you, Mitch, for choosing and giving me at Hakeren the opportunity. It's a really good. It's a great honor.
It's also a great honor for us, also, sir, that you are always there, favoring us in every request that we are asking from your office.
Yes, okay. When I saw the radio station opened and you guys were in the beginning, I said, "Wow, this is a beautiful tool that we can join you," and I appreciate it. You were the first one actually that came to me, and we had discussions about it. So good, you're a good visionary, and Hakeren is really here. Hakeren is in the Tachana every day from 9 a.m. I'm here, and people can come If it's necessary, I could stay late. If somebody cannot come to the office in the Tachana, they can come to our satellite location in Shaul HaMelech Street in Bet Amot Mishpat. It's the tower right off Even Gvirol and we're in the center of the city. And they could enjoy all the services that they can get over here. They can get it from there as well. So we're trying to spread out a little bit and make it easy for people to reach us in different locations. So this is a very good thing to know.
Yes, sir. So tonight we're going to tackle about the special visa, refugee visa, refugee and humanitarian visas that you're offering, the services that you're offering from your agency, from your firm. So before we start, sir, I just want to ask you something. We know that, in your opinion, sir, we know that the massive manhunt that is happening right now is really a law in your here in Israel, but why is the question is, why is it that it's so suddenly that they conducted the massive manhunt? Is there any situation that triggers the government to do the massive manhunt again? They also authorize the mayors of the different municipalities here in Israel to do the um, to do the to do such a
To go out and try to
yeah,
fix
to go out.
the problem.
Is there do you have any knowledge about what is happening right now? Although we know that they are really cleaning, and those who doesn't have visa, but do you happen to know if there is a certain situation that triggers the government to do this massive action again?
Israel is a democracy and it gives people laws and precautions that things that happen because if you don't obey the law. I understand that people are granted an opportunity to be in Israel, and but you need to understand, since the laws are in the benefits to help you to come here and earn good money, also you need to obey the law. When the law says you need to have a visa, so you need to have a visa. Most probably, since there is Ambassador Neil from the embassy person,
Ambassador Neil
and I know
Imperial.
him very well. Neil Imperial, he's a person with a vision and with love to the people. He's working together very strong. At any meeting I see him, he tells me what kind of progress. He's happy that the G to G government to government going
to government.
And they see that there will be great opportunity to bring more people in legal ways with visas. So most probably, it's natural that when they're trying to do something to make it better, they need to fix the problem that they have, that there is so many people without visas. I really believe that some people without visas have solutions in Israel. And regarding that, we're going to discuss with Obuz about what kind of solutions they have. People need to understand that special visa, there is a law. When it starts, when it ends, what kind of criterias. It's very, very clear. And if you're in the ramifications where you could grant the visa, so you grant, and if not, not. We will definitely explore a little bit more about that. And regarding humanitarian visa, this is Israel has bilateral agreements with the different countries, and they grant the Amnesty International agreement for the refugees from 1951. That was in the law, and there is certain people that are in the criteria that they could grant a refugee visa, or definitely can request a refugee visa, or humanitarian visa as well. That from certain humanitarian issues, they need to stay in Israel and get protected from the government. So it's
for that, Mr. Khron, I'm going to cut you for that because we're going to tackle that one later. I have my questionnaires here. So to start with,
okay.
To start with the question, here's the first question,
Why
Mr.
don't
Khron.
we, before you start with the questions, maybe let's try to get the lawyers on the phone, and they will
Okay,
answer
okay.
the first questions, okay? So I'm
Yes, sir.
gonna
That
let
would
you
be
know.
great.
Okay, 1 second.
You have.
Okay. So I see many good friends are on the line. It's nice to see them over here. And
For some
not,
questions, for the Filipino communities that are writing their questions in commenting their questions in the comment box, just we'll try to ask questions,
okay.
your questions to
Until the lawyers,
until the
definitely.
lawyers already in. But for now, I'm just going to take note all the questions that are appearing in here in our comment
Yeah.
box.
1 second.
Yeah. While waiting, we would like to say good evening to all the foreign workers living and working here in Israel, especially my co-Filipino workers here in Israel and the other nations that the Hakeren is the other nations that the Hakeren is helping.
I did not hear the first part of the question.
The first part of the question is when can we call that a foreign worker is already a candidate for a special visa? I think this is a basic question, but for the sake of the newcomers here in Israel and for the sake of the foreign workers that doesn't know, because I believe that every year there's an update on the rules and regulations of the immigration.
Right. First of all, I'd like to welcome Mr. Ron Obuz. And I will say he's on the phone with us. So hi, Ron.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Ron. This is Mitch from IFS.
Good evening, Mitch. Good evening, everybody.
Yes, again, to our viewers, that's Mr. Attorney Ron Obuz again. He's the Labor and Immigration Law attorney of the Hakeren Israel Foreign Workers Fund Agency. Here's the first question, Mr. Attorney Ron. When can we call that a foreign worker is already a candidate for special visa?
Excuse me, what was the answer? What was the question?
When would be a person a candidate for the first special visa? That was the question.
Oh, okay, that's a very good question. So first, everybody should know that the special visa is what we call, the people call special visa, but the Israeli government, the official name is a humanitarian visa. So if you talk to an attorney, if you need a service for a special visa, you have to ask for humanitarian visa. This is the official terminology of the now.
Oh, I see. I understand, sir. The term for special visa is humanitarian visa.
The humanitarian visa has various options. The best option for the humanitarian visa is when the employers, not the employee, the employers, they refer to the Israeli government and with an application, and that they say that you need this specific. Okay, so whoever, there are two possibilities. One possibility is that the employer by himself, he admin to the Israeli government with the application, and the application said that I need this specific OFW, this specific caregiver. I want him to work with me. There are a lot of reasons why he should be, why he wants to do that. But some of the reason is that he has a special connection with the caregiver, or this caregiver is a lot of time in Israel. He knows how to do the work good. There are a lot of options. The employer himself, he addressed the Israeli government with a humanitarian humanitarian visa. Why he called humanitarian? Because officially the caregiver should already leave Israel because he terminated his visa. His visa was terminated, and he has to leave. But the employer, the Israeli employer, can address for a special visa, for a humanitarian visa, for this specific employee.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of options by the law. By the way, the Israeli government just renewed the law about 4 months ago. We have a new regulations about humanitarian visa. The Israeli government has made it more difficult for caregivers to stay in Israel and work after the official visa time. But still, they have a lot of options. Just have to know exactly for every specific case the circumstances about staying in Israel. And caregivers today have a lot of options to stay after visa time. I can just say that basically, it's also this is very, it can be different, but basically after 13 years in Israel, it will be very difficult for a caregiver to stay more and work here for more time. Okay, so that's for the humanitarian visa. Before I finish, I just want to say about the second option. The second option is that the employee himself, he addressed the Israeli government for humanitarian visa, not the employer. And it can be for any reason, any humanitarian reason. If he's sick, if he has problem with a born child, if he has had an accident in Israel, that should be a humanitarian visa that he can't leave Israel and he has to stay here. He can address the Israeli government by himself. He doesn't need the employer.
Oh, okay, sir. So the first, there are two options with regards to humanitarian visa. which we can say that the special visa. The first option is the employee will going to send a request to the government. Am I right? And the second option is it's with the worker. It's with the worker. She's going to be the person in charge to send a request to the government concerned with his her as a special visa. Is that what I can I think I that's what I can understand from your explanation.
Okay, I can't hear you well. Yosie, did you hear her?
Yeah, she was just
Yeah.
explaining that what you said. She was breaking it down that basically a person, there is two people that can request for it. One time is the employee and one time is the employer. Everybody for their own condition, and it's more personal. And and this is the basic idea of the humanitarian visa.
That's
And
right.
I heard-
Yosie invite me. I just want, if I listen to Yosie, I just want for just a minute to give a very big thanks for Mr. Yosie Khron for his work. He works 24/7, almost 24/7, because on Saturdays doesn't work, but 24/6. He worked very hard for all of OFWs in Israel, especially the Filipino community. I see every day when he's running from Jerusalem to Haifa to Tel Aviv, everywhere he goes, every phone he's getting back, he's helping the people. I can see to the central bus station to Hakeren, I can see the people smiling. It's very, very warming to see his work and the Hakeren works, and I think that we all have to make them strong and help them as much as we can. So I can to help Hakeren and to help the all of Ws in Israel to make them strong, and don't be afraid from employers or from the government.
That's thank you for the warm tell you guys, and every OFW that's watching us now, and we're hitting a beautiful record. There's 300 people live right now.
Mr. Khron, not just the OFWs, and also let's consider also the other nations, because I know that they are watching also right now.
Definitely, everybody, brothers and sisters, be strong. Don't be scared to ask information. Your employer, your agency, us. Asking a question doesn't make you stupid. Not asking puts you in a position that you might be able to be in a position that will cost you a lot of money to get out of it. And it's very important. Sometimes you have children here in Israel. Sometimes you have children in the Philippines. Sometimes you're in different situations. I'm hearing stories every single day. And thank God we're really making sure to get smiles on people's faces, because even if though you're far away from your house, you don't have somebody to trust, everybody has different answers for you. Sometimes your friend, sometimes somebody that has some advice that he thinks that he knows, and you need to go to ask professional people. There is professional people that are available, and they're backing us 100%. Everything I try to say, I get it. I ask the information, and I'm confirmed that I'm giving the right reason. And you really, Attorney Ron, for giving me the backing. Any other questions do you have? You see anybody asking something that they should address?
There is one question here. For the first question, I'm going to skip for a while with regards, because we're already tackling about the special visa. Someone says here from Ms. Shera Tampil, is there a possibility for a second special visa to is Attorney Ron
Is
still
there, I understand that the question is it a possibility for second special
for
visa?
second visa? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, usually no. Usually the answer for that will be no. You can use only one time the special visa. There are exceptions for that. One of the exceptions is what I said before, is the second option, that maybe for the first time the employer, he addressed the government, and the employee works for the special visa because of the questions of the employer. But maybe now, after he finished the special visa, he has problems. Maybe he has the same problems I talked about before. He had a car accident. Maybe he has a problem with the child. Any reason that he can't leave Israel at that time. Okay, that will be a little bit more complicated than a regular humanitarian visa ask, but it's also possible. Sometimes it's also possible.
Mr. Obuz is saying that that if you have if you're in the term of the 13 years and you're in a visa and your employer dies, or he's God forbid, or he goes to the Bet Avot, to the old age home. So if you have another employer that's requesting you, so that employer is granting you another special visa. But a person, it's like you need to be, it needs to come from the employer side that he's requesting you for that, and then you can. But there is a term on that, and after 13 years, you cannot even be requested unless you have a personal humanitarian situation and you can request on yourself. This is something else. I'm talking about the employee.
You're going to request because you suffered from an accident and you're still having a treatment here, and the other option is
there is a list of it's very personal, like Attorney Ron said in the beginning, and the government can also say no at any time. It's all dependent on the but it needs to have a good reason, and not every good reason they accept. But it's better that whoever has an issue that would like to see, it can always be.
Just you have to know the basic thing you have to know is that usually for 99% of the time you can't have the second special visa. Only one time special visa.
There's no 100 meyahuts chances of having a second visa. Is that what you are saying?
Never 100%. Every time we can find something that is exceptions, and sometimes there is something to do. You just have to come to Hakeren. You have to bring all documents, all history, and every case is by himself. We can sometimes find a problem that was before. We can sometimes do. We can find an exceptions, but it's 99% of the time you can't have another special visa. Only one time special visa, but sometimes there are exceptions. We can find you the right solution.
Hakeren has lots of customers, testimonials that we're going to bring in the future with great success stories. And this in the future lives, we will actually discuss them. But you know, there's always a good story, and there's always a story that's not so good, that somebody tried and they couldn't. You know, it's not really in the attorney's hands that he puts the request. It's more in the story and the content. One thing I know that when the Obuz Borla law office, they very specify on a personal level when everybody comes. They give them the time. They help them to process it correct, and they go with the worker together through all the what's the process, and the lawyer understands that they should be on the right page, and it's a very personal experience that people really come back to me and tell me, Yosie, I feel that we did it correctly and I got the right support. And this is what's important, you know. It's your every step of these kind of things. It's your future. It's people's future. People are dependent on them. There is a lot of different issues that we cannot go into in such, but it's very important that you get good service. People want to know exactly. They want to feel. And they tell me, listen, I got all my money. I need the computation. But I want to make another computation because I want to know that everything is covered and I'm relaxed and I could go on and move on to my other thing. Same thing with all the issues that we were talking about with the visa issues.
Yeah, it's still in
Any other
connection with
questions?
our still in connection with the question here from Mr. Joseph Punompurat.
Another little thing.
1 second, he wants to ask another.
Sir.
He wants to
just want to add a little thing about what we just talked about. Sometimes the foreign workers, the caregivers, they think that they already made applicants for a special visa and that they can do it again. Many times we find that when we go to Jerusalem, to the government, and we see that the Israeli government computers didn't write the first time. It was not computerized.
It wasn't registered.
So it wasn't registered well. So even though the caregiver, the OFW, we thought that he already made a special visa, but sometimes we go over there, we open his file, and we can see that he can do it another time because he's not registered. So it's very important for everybody that don't count on anyone. Just come to us with your documents, with all papers. We'll make the check for you, and then you can be safe.
Thank you, Attorney Oron, for that another information. So it's really that is a great help for us because for us and for the other foreign workers, because I believe that they are really nervous or nervous on about the special visas that when they have already their special visas. So that additional knowledge is a very great to know, Sir Ron Obuz. With still in connection with the topic, it's from Joseph Punompurat. I think he's from another nation. Is it possible to get a special visa between 4.3 to 5.3 if we have an employer who wish to take responsibility? I think this one, you already answered this one.
There is a lot of posts people are liking and they're sending stickers. So I'm losing you in the middle of the question. Before Mr. Obuz goes off the line, let's first we have another 2 minutes with him. So if you want to discuss something about the refugee visa, let's throw in a question, and then I could go with you on and answer people's questions. So we spoke about
to our viewers, we'll be going to stick with the questionnaires that are prepared here. Then afterwards we can address your questions that you have left here in our comment box. To continue with about the refugee visa. Sir, gentlemen, do the Filipino workers or the foreign workers are they really allowed or can apply for a refugee visa?
Okay,
This is in general,
this is a
sir.
very
I'm
good
not.
question because
Yeah.
this is a very good question because I hear a lot of people talking about that everywhere I go. There is misinformation going out on the net, on the Facebook about that Filipinos cannot apply for a refugee visa. Let me just say some words about the refugee visa. The refugee visa is not the traditional visa. It's not a working visa, like we all know. It's not a humanitarian visa that lets you the option to work in Israel. Nevertheless, it's an option for someone that already in Israel, already lives in Israel, and wants to extend a little more is stay in Israel. The goal of the refugee visa is to help person whoever has any danger to his life. It's not you can't just go and address and apply for a refugee visa.
No, refugee.
You have to say
That one I do understand, sir.
But what
Because
Mr. Obuz is saying, it's a very personal issue. It's like, just for an example, some woman was being locked in her house in her country, and she was abused by her husband, and God blessed her, and he gave her and he helped her get a visa to come as a caregiver in Israel. And she's working and everything's okay. Suddenly she has a problem and she sees that she needs to go back home, and it's hard for her, or because she knows where she's going to go back to, and so these are people that are having issues that are endangering their personal life. If you go to the Philippines and I'm an Israeli and I have a problem in Israel, I can ask from the Filipino government as well to be a refugee in the Philippines. This is an agreement that governments are signed up to in the MNST international agreement from the refugees that was from the UN in 1951. And it's a very special clause. It's if you're scared, if you're being chased by a certain religion, there is a very specific guidelines, and people that feel that they have this issue, they can file they can come to an attorney, and the attorney can help them to file a request. This is a government decision. If they could grant it to them, and sometimes they don't grant it. They just give you a certain temporary status to give you a chance to overcome your problem. Sometimes they reject you immediately. This is a very personal issue, and the Obuz Borla Forum have done many of these successfully, and they're very professional at this, and we see that there is people are getting solutions over here, and Mr. Obuz can elaborate more about this. If you have a question, he will continue. Every person, it's basically a personal, and this is very important. People should understand. No government is giving you anything. It's you're coming to request that you have a personal problem, and you address it to the government. And this problem that you address the government, they see if you cannot really go back to your country. they question you, they speak to you about it, and the government makes a decision if to grant you. I just met somebody outside before that he has a refugee temporary status, and he's here on a refugee status. And some people, after a certain, renew this status, go away. You have a couple days to leave. So we've seen, we're dealing with these issues. We know how to understand this. Mr. Obuz, Attorney Ron, he's done this process many times, and he would really bring people the solution. Same thing by all the rest of the issues that we deal with on a daily basis. You need to understand, you have a problem, you had a problem, you want to talk to somebody about it, come discuss. It's not going to cost you money to get a little bit wiser or to take some headache, something off your mind to sleep better at night. This is our mission. We have a slogan, and in our office, in Amot building, you will see in our conference room a big sign that says, make life simple. And this is what we do. Everybody's so stressed from the job that every little issue that comes up, they get very nervous. Make life simple, brothers and sisters. Come to us. We love you. I promise you, you're going to walk out with a smile, because 100% of the people until today did that. So Mr. Obuz needs to leave. He needs to continue. So thank you very much, and he will say goodbye to everybody.
Yes.
Thank you
yes,
very much, Mitch, and our audience and our everybody that watch us. Thank you very much, Mr. Khron from Hakeren. Be strong and keep the good work.
Thank you. And I see actually the team
attorney,
of
to Attorney Ron, thank you also for giving us the time. And we are hoping again for another interviews next time.
Okay, well, thank you very much. You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. To our viewers, that's Attorney Ron Obuz. And with us today is just Mr. Khron from the Managing Director of Hakeren. Before anything else, okay, sir. So,
I actually have a
I just wanna say something, sir, to my to the viewers.
I have Mr. Attorney Ron Obuz. I have his card. If people see, if you want the number of the office, I will send it over here in the end of in the course of the live, and you can contact his office direct if you need anything. Okay, yes, Mitch, let's continue.
Sir, I just want to say something to my co-VJs and to my to our founder. Kuya, pwedeng or mga VJs kung sinong available, pwedeng pa-screenshot ako ng mga questions kasi talagang maraming questions. Mamaya i-address po natin and susukbukan po nating i-address talaga. Kasi madami pong nagpa-pop up and hindi na po may babalik mamaya. Kaya pwedeng kung sino po pwede, pa-screenshot na lang po and pakisend sa aking messenger at babasahin namin mamaya. Thank you. So, again, with our topic a while ago, sir, about the refugee visa, that's what I understand is in having a refugee visa, you should have you must what they call that one. You are wait, I'm sorry. If you can apply for a refugee visa, you the qualification for that is you are in danger in your own country, and maybe there's a war in your country. Is that the qualifications for applying for a refugee visa? Is that what I understand, sir?
There is many issues, many issues that are, again, it's personal. And actually, I have the writing over here in front of me, but it's in Hebrew. But yes, if you have a danger of a war, or somebody is threatening your life, you have a personal threat on your life, uh, uh, and all these kind of things that are putting your life in harm. If you go back to your country, you can request a refugee
Refugee.
status. Nobody's giving you very few people got refugee visa. Only most of the people that got refugee visa is the Sudan people that came from Darfur, Sudan, and Eritrea, and also those are not final. Some only the people from Darfur, which there is a war going on over there. They were granted a refugee visa, but any nationality person that comes to the government and requests a refugee visa status, the government needs to review
Yeah,
his
I'm with you, sir.
request. They need to review his request. They need to and they need to make a decision, and they need to say why they did not grant this person a visa. So sometimes the process can take 1 month, 3 months, up to 6 months until you get a final decision. The government can deny it. They could say, okay, we'll give you a temporary status. Uh, Anything can happen. If anybody has such an issue, come in and speak to us. It's, again, people think, well, I'm a Filipino and my government is trying to be democracy, and Filipinos cannot get. It's not about where you're from. It's about your personal issue. And it's very important to understand that. Very, very important.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So,
did I answer it?
yeah, for the Filipino workers, there's no chance of having a refugee visa. It's for
As said,
there are some that are um there are some workers that are relying to a refugee visa. So there's no chance for the Filipino workers to have a refugee visa unless they are being threatened and in danger in our country. But I don't think that we have that kind of situation in our country. So as of now, there's no chances for the Filipino workers here.
there's no chances for people that don't have any problem, and they're what kind of reason would you write that you don't have any
Mhm.
problem? It's not just Filipino. It's Sri Lanka, Nepali, Indian, any other government. If you don't have any personal issue, so what would you tell the government in Israel? Why should they give it to you? If you come and
Exactly.
you say, I have a personal issue, so this is it. It's not about Filipino or Sri Lanka worker, foreign worker, or everybody comes and says their story. They have a case. They write the case. They come to the government. They're willing to get an interview on their case to explain their problem, and then the government makes a decision if to grant them the visa, the temporary status or not. It's if somebody tells you, come to me, I'll make you a refugee visa, run away.
Yeah.
If you say, listen, I have a problem, I want to, and I want to discuss
Oh, there's a problem with the there's a problem with your connection, I think, Mr. Khron. Hintayin lang po natin. So that's very clear po sa atin na yun nga po na hindi tayo makakakuha ng we cannot apply for a refugee visa unless we are endangered to our own endangered and threatened to our in our country. Yun po yung possible. So sa mga kababayan nating Pilipino, I hope na sagot po ni Mr. Khron ang inyong mga tanong about sa refugee visa. Lang po natin, medyo nawala yata yung babalik na lang siya mamaya. Pero for the meantime, we can address. Wait, I am opened. Just a second. I'm adding you again, Mr. Khron. While waiting for Mr. Khron, sasagutin po natin yung ibang mga tanong. Yan. Good evening, good evening. Back, invite me. Yeah. I'll try to invite you again, Mr. Khron. Add viewers. Wait. Hindi po natin mahanapan si Mr. Khron. Saglit lang po. Watching. Mr. Khron, can you go again to our live feed? I really can't find you. Or can you send another request? But for the meantime, oh my. I can't really find you, Mr. Khron, in the in our feed. I really can't find you, Mr. Khron. There. Ma'am Rosalie Frugalidad. Ma'am, I'm still waiting for Mr. Khron. So, kung gusto nyo pong sumama mamaya, I'll just request po again later. Kindly send me a request again, Sir Khron. There. Up. And where? Adding. There.
Okay, there I am. Sorry, somebody just called me in and it got all disconnected, but I'm okay. I'm back here, okay. So
there. The refugee visa, chances for refugee visas for Filipinos are not 100%. For my yeah. Nobody is 100%. Okay. Nobody. So we're done with our.
You need to understand something. A person that he thinks he has a story, and he thinks that his story is strong enough that he wants to try to write it and to request it. it's not a problem. He can request it. He can get denied. If he gets denied, he can go to appeal to the court on it. And if he believes in his story, he can go and this grants him from the minute that he signs up and he applies for this visa. He is protected from the by court from being deported from Israel, and he can buy it. It's like it buys him some time to try to get this situation. It can take sometimes 3 to 6 to 9 months, the whole process. It can take sometimes quick. So if somebody wants to try and he has a case and he wants to do it, he needs to know that what is the time frame, and this is very important. So if people want to come in and have a deeper discussion about this whole refugee status, since people are very under pressure now, there is a big mission from the government. There is a mission from the government to capture as much people that they could, and we see the immigration coming a lot to the Tachana looking for people, and it's important that you should keep yourself safe and keep yourself legal. Very important to keep yourself legal. I see people that are coming to me, and on their passport they have a sticker that it says that they have visa for a couple more months, but maybe their employer cut their visa, maybe, and they don't know. And it's very important to have a visa status check. This is one of the things that the services that Hakeren offers. As you can see, I posted this on Facebook. You could see it better on the Facebook on our page, Hakeren page. So you could see the list of the services that we offer. The main thing is we give a lot of information out there, and visa status check. It's a very important item for people to know exactly what is their status. In many different communities, we have seen people coming to us and they say that they have a special visa, but they working out of the house, and the employer they like pay somebody money to get a special visa, but they really don't work by the person, and they give the people the person the family that requests for them every month money to go, and they go out and clean, and they think they have a visa. If they caught and they being checked if their visa is good or not, they be deported immediately to jail and be deported because they have a fake piece of paper. They're paying people money to give them something that's not even real. We've seen it in different nationalities, in more like the Indian communities and the Sri Lanka communities, that people are getting this piece of paper with their name on it, that it says that they grant a special visa, cleaning jobs, and there is people that they say that they're agencies, and this is a scam. Be careful. Be careful. You need to know that the employer, you're working by the employer. The immigration, they check, they go to people's houses to see if you're working there. If they find you working someplace else, they will take you and put you in jail. I see there is many people viewing us. So brothers and sisters, don't get fooled by trying to make more money. You know, when you're a caregiver and you're working legal, you have granted for you pension, compensation, bonus, and vacations, annual. You have a lot of good things when you leave the job to capture by law. Try to be legal. Try to be legal. And if it's hard for you, you don't understand what your employer is saying. If he put the request for your visa, if he did not put the request for your visa, ask for it. Can I see what you did? Can I understand? Can I have a copy of what the papers that you submitted? What is the process? Who is the lawyer? I want to know who's the lawyer that's processing my papers. Usually they need to sign in front of the lawyer that they're working for a certain person. Take the card of the lawyer. Hold it. Hold it by yourself. And you should know that if you don't know what's the process in the middle, you can talk to somebody. This is the service that we give in Hakeren. If you come to us, you know who's the lawyer that's processing your paperwork. If you cannot talk to the lawyer, we can talk to them and get for you the information. Where is it holding? What's the status? This is concerns that people have on a daily basis. And this is what we give to you. We're giving you service. We're giving you confidence. We're making you try to enjoy your life instead of your portion of time that you granted to be in Israel with a quiet mind, and it turns your work a little bit more sweeter.
Yeah, thank you for that, Mr. Khron. And to resume with our question, so we're finished with that. Can you tell us more about the more of the special visa rules or the rights of the workers that has this kind of visas? Or in this connection, we have a a question with regards this topic. The question is, if we finished our 90 days grace period, is there a possibility, a chance of having a visa again?
I did not hear the question since there was noise in the middle.
If we finish the 90 days grace period for us to find a job, can we have a chance or a possibility for another special visa again, another visa again? If
This
you
is
already.
This is a same like Mr. Ron, Attorney Ron said. It's more on the request of the employer and his condition to get. We actually had a case that over the 90 days, and the employer requested, and they were granted because the employer was very, very ill. It was the case was very heavy, and the lawyer just sat and did a great job explaining it in a very good way to the judge and to the Mishrad Apnim, and she was granted for 6 months protection from the court that she can continue working by this family. So the answer is, again, every case is personal. Every case should be questioned and should come in and should discuss. And definitely every story is pretty much very strong on the rules of the 90 days, and brothers and sisters, work hard, find a job, go help. I see these women that are coming in, and they're looking all over, and they're following on different employers. They're calling and sitting on the phones, and they're not leaving the phone, and they're traveling from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv to Haifa to all different kind of places to meet different families and to try to find a job, because it's it could be a good opportunity for you to belong, and there is also opportunities that people find a job and a month later, after they filed all the paperwork from Misrad Apnim, and the employer, God forbid, dies. Listen, I believe in hard work. I'm a hardworking person. If you work hard and you have a mission and you want to accomplish it, work for it, and God will be with you. My fingers are crossed for everybody, really.
Thank you for that, Mr. Khron.
Definitely, it's not simple. I see the people coming in, and I love them even more and more, because God gave me a good mission, and I'm really I see that I'm creating a great impact. So thank you everybody for the love. I really appreciate it.
We also appreciate what you are doing, Mr. Khron. So we'll just stick to the questions here, if it's okay, because there's a lot of questions, and I think this is more important other than our proposed question, Mr. Khron. I'm going to start with this. Can I ask if the caregiver can possibly get citizenship here in Israel with the help of employer for working 5 years straight in his employer? Thanks. We'll
Caregivers,
rephrase the question. Is it possible to get, or we can say that, is it possible to get a citizenship here in Israel?
it's possible. It's a very general question, but if people have, it's possible with certain criterias. Basically, if you're a caregiver and you come request for citizen, you cannot get a citizen. You need to have maybe through marriage or there is very serious criterias. You need to be, if you're Jewish, it's a Jewish, so Jews.
I'm sorry, Mr. Khron, your connection is being interrupted again.
Hello?
Your connection is being interrupted again.
Yeah, people are calling me. You can, whoever watches wants to talk to me, you can call me in 20 minutes. And now I'm a little bit busy with Mitch and the 312 people. Mitch, this is amazing. You broke a record today. This is amazing. I've seen that we got up to 380 people watching us live. You know, it's amazing, beautiful, great job.
It's for the
Great
foreign
topic.
workers and my co-OFWs. We'll resume with our question, sir. There is a question here. With regards to how true if we resigned or has been released for 3 times, you need to go to Misrad. Do you need to go to the Misradhap name and promise them that that your fourth employer will be the last chance for us to work longer here, or else you need to go home? Is there, or we're gonna rephrase it again, how is it if we resign the 3 times? What is the situation of your working visa here if you resign 3 times without still consuming the 4.3 or 5.3 years that was given to you?
The question is that within the 4.3 years, if you resign and more than 3 times, this is a very good question. I actually I heard several things about that. I will address and answer most of the questions that we're not able to answer right now. I will personally on my way home, sit and try to answer people all their questions. So basically, if you did not get an answer, don't be insulted. Last week, somebody told me, I asked you a question and you answer only the girls. So it's not, I try to answer really everybody. And,
We do the same, sir. We'll try to answer all of them. So that's the question,
definitely.
sir.
Okay, so I will get you an answer later, and it's a very good question, and I've heard it several times from different people, and I like to give something that I know 100%. So I will get you an answer on that. What's the person's name?
It's Jeril. It's Jeril Labajo. It's from
Okay,
Jeril
Jerry.
Labajo. But maybe you can answer right now, sir, so that our viewers also can have a knowledge on this kind of situation.
I don't know 100%. I want to wait on the answer because I want it to be professional. Okay?
Okay.
You know, in the Torah it says something, don't be the one that always answers every question. Sometimes it's smart to say, let me get back to you on that, because that's a very good question and I want to answer it well that everybody should see. So let's go to the next one.
To the next one. Please bear with me, Mr. Khron, because it's written in Tagalog, so I have to translate it in English. I'll try my best.
Okay, you get loud that everybody else should hear and then translate it, so it would be easier for them.
While translating some of the questions, can you give some can you tell us more of the special visa rules or rights of the workers?
Yeah, one thing it's very important, once you're in the special visa, sometimes you become a hostage to the employer, because you know that if they fire you, you might not have another granted visa. And sometimes you see that you think that your salary is a little bit low, and you start to get into an argument with your employer, and you're in a special visa, you can endanger your stay in Israel. I'm telling people usually salary conditions should be tried to in the end of the year. This is a conversation that can be discussed. Don't endanger your job for that, but you can bring the information to your employer, and you can always show your employer if you think that you're getting a small salary, and it's not your correct salary. There is a link on Hakeren that I can post onto this live. The link is how it's called Hakeren Free Smart Calculator. You actually, if you're watching well, I have it right over here on the screen behind me, and it's called Hakeren Free Smart Calculator. You can go in and punch in the answers over there on the link, and within 10 seconds you will be able to know what is your legal salary should be in Israel. And I recommend a lot of people take this to your employer and show it to him. It takes 10 seconds, and he could know what should be really he should pay you. And conversations about salary needs to be very open. But let's not get off the subject. We're talking about the special visa. So yes, definitely be careful and watch your job, because you need to. You want to continue staying. Don't get fired when you are on a special visa. This is a very, very good. Certain issues that you have that and I can help you understand where exactly you're holding and what's the best thing to do. I'm an Israeli American. I know the culture of the people, and I'm starting to understand more and more on a daily basis the culture and the problems of the Filipinos and the Indians and the Sri Lanka people, and why they want to resign. And but certain people need to understand. Sometimes you need to look at your mission, than thinking about your problem, and uplift yourself a little bit emotionally and put the emotions in the side and be focused on what's important for you to do for your family. And I'm not coming I'm not coming as an outsider. I hear your problems. I feel it and I understand it. Your back is hurting you. You're lifting up a heavy person, and you cannot sleep at night. So many, right? So we need to you need to weigh the situation, and really, God bless you people. You're doing a good job.
Yeah. Mr. Khron, there's a paper that was sent to our personal inbox. There's a paper here that comes from the Warsaw law firm. So maybe this as to Miss Angelica. I think this from as to Miss Angelita, who's watching right now. Maybe we'll just send this paper to personally to Mr. Khron, because it's written in Hebrew and I can't really understand what is written here. Maybe I'll just send it to you. She wants
Send
to
it to me
know.
in the WhatsApp. Anybody that wants to send me any questions, they have some papers, they don't understand what it says, just forward it to me to my WhatsApp, and I will send it to the lawyer. They will review them, and whatever's more important, we'll get to it immediately. Whatever's less important, we'll answer. Everything by us, it's important because people need their answers. But this is my WhatsApp phone for now, and it's updated because my other phone is not working. So this is my WhatsApp phone. Send me your name, send me your piece of paper that you have, any question. I will send it immediately to the lawyer. You don't need to come to the office. First, the advice is free, and take the concern off your heart. So throw at me the problems, and I'll try to throw at you the solutions.
This letter is she wants to know if this is a safe letter, if she's holding a safe letter, because her the both of them are in a trial right now, I think, because she said that we are in court because
Okay,
of the
let me.
permission. Yeah,
I'm not.
I'll
I'm
just
not the
send it to
lawyer.
you.
Okay, I'm not the lawyer, and I cannot
Yeah,
answer legal stuff, but I can definitely put it on the table of the lawyer, and if the lawyer thinks that's important, she will call you or whatever needs to be done. We're in the office every day. I'm in the office every day from 9 a.m. to 6, if need 7, if need until 10 p.m. for serious issues. Don't forget, I still have a family that I love very much. I have 5 girls, and I love
yeah,
them, and I'm very happy that, by the way, it's a good opportunity to say thank you for my wife for giving me all this power to dedicate myself so much for others. She's the hero, and I have a beautiful family, thank God, because of her. So chapeau for her. And
yeah. Thanks to her. Send my regards to her. My thank in
yes,
behalf of the
really,
foreign workers, Mr. Khron.
definitely.
For I know that you're in a hurry going home, so we'll just finish 2 more questions about from our viewers. There's another question from here, Mr. Khron. This is his first apply for visa, and he's been working here in Israel for already 15 years. Is there a chance to get an SB for him?
He's what's the question again? I'm sorry, something popped up over here.
Yeah. From Maria Grace Madarico, it's his first time to apply for SB, and she's been here for 15 years. She's working here for 15 years. Any chance of having a special visa, of getting a special visa for her?
Nah, 15 years. It's not. There's no chance. There's no
Yeah, because
chance. And
I heard Attorney Robus a while ago that he mentioned that if you're 13 years, it's a little difficult in getting another visa.
right, he said
I
of
mentioned it.
over 13 years. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And actually, the team of the office is with me on the WhatsApp, and they're telling me as well. 15 years, it's not. But actually, you want to hear something? There was today. I had a woman that she
Okay.
was here, a Filipina, 20 years in Israel, and she had a visa until last week, and it's so hard for her to leave the country. She's so in love, 20 years. How could you go
Definitely,
so quick?
definitely, Mr. Khron.
The employer
Well,
died, and she needs to go within 30 to 60 days. She needs to go. It's so hard. But yes, after 15 years, it's not possible. 13 years is the most opportunity to stay.
for the last question, I think because I know that it's very late and you're also going home here in Jerusalem, Mr. Khron. So we're just going to address this issue. I read from your post that you are also catering those mothers that does have children, and with that connection, we have a personal message again here. They send it in via inbox. They want to ask if you can have the chance also to ask Mr. Khron that why couples here in Israel, those are in marriage, are not allowed to work together here in Israel, where in fact, if their purpose only is to work and they will not stay here in Israel all the time, though they have the chance to change that law, for example, to let them work here and stay to work even they married. Thank you.
I don't really understand the question, because there is many couples that are married and they're caregivers, and 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 they have visa and everything's okay. If you don't have visa, you don't have visa. If you're not in the criteria visa, you cannot just find some girl and marry her and grant her visa because you're married to her and you have visa. It's not like you have a citizenship and you have the power to add somebody onto your citizenship. And to every case is very, very different. It's very sad to me to say it, but there is laws, and there is different opportunities that can be checked as humanitarian cases, with children, with families, children that grow up already. Every case is very, very personal. That's what Ron said, and that's what we're trying to stick to you and to understand. Even though you might think that your case doesn't have a serious opportunity, or your case has a very good opportunity, come in, have a professional ear, listen to your problem. Say the case out, bring it out, and you will get an answer. It's better for you. Like I say all the time, there's no stupid question. There's a stupid person that doesn't want to ask the question. So every question is important, and we need to review them. But usually they try to. The government sees that there is a couple over here. They're scared that they're going to have many children and they're going to stay, and then there's going to be issues. So they try to ask one of the couples to leave, put the deposit in the Ben Gurion. That's a substantial amount of cash to that they can lose if they don't go. People think that they have visa and they trust their employers also. It's very, very important that they should not trust their employers. Check your visa. Let's close this whole live beautiful party that we have over here with peak of, and now we're down to 235, but I'm sure that many people will view this after, and it's important. You should know we spoke about very good issues over here. You can share it to your friends. Come in and let's meet you. Let's say hello. Let's see what we can do for you. And I promise you that we'll try the best to put a great smile on your face. Mitch, you're a brave person. You're a great host, and the Filipino station, Israel Filipino station, for bringing such great opportunities and for the people to understand what they need to get and what's their rights. And I think we had a great time. Mitch, what do you say?
Yeah, thank you, sir, for that. A lot of information comes from you, and to Attorney Robus, thank you once again in behalf of the Israel Filipino members, the VJs and the admins. Thank you for always being ready for an interview, Mr. Khron. So with that, any parting words or one last question, Mr. Khron? When can you have also a branch here in Jerusalem, since you're from here in Jerusalem?
What?
When can Hakeren have an extension here in Jerusalem so that we can also avail your services?
So first of all, I want to tell you something. Jerusalem is my heart. I grew up in Jerusalem all my life. My parents are American Jews that came from, migrated from America to Israel, and they got this. We lived in Jerusalem. We grew up there. All my family is come from the U.S., from my mother and my father's side, and Jerusalem is in my heart. It's most of the people funnel into Tel Aviv on the weekends or during the week because they have a lot of errands and friends and everything going on and parties. So Tel Aviv is the center of the business district. The Hakeren is growing beautifully. We have a lot of services that we give the people remotely. So you don't really need to come into Hakeren office. A lot of issues can be done remotely. Because basically we see that the caregivers are locked up in their jobs and they need solutions. They cannot come out. So we created a lot of solutions for them that we can send them the documents from the WhatsApp and they could sign on the WhatsApp. People that have Gmail, it's very important to know. If you have a Gmail sign, there is an app on the Gmail that allows you to sign documents on the Gmail. So if we send you a document, you can sign it on the Gmail and send it back. And so there is great, really, opportunities to work with Hakeren without coming into the office. But I'm promising you that Hakeren will have an office in Jerusalem in the future. I know a lot of great people with us in Jerusalem and give the services. So I promise you, Jerusalem people, and I know many of them, a lot of people in Jerusalem I know, because our first offices were in Jerusalem. So I met some leaders and I go to parties and I see the great leaders. And we will do it. We will be there. It's just a matter of time.
One last question, Mr. Khron, because I guess there's a lot of comments, questions from with this kind of problem. Someone is asking. It's from Eileen Wines. She asks again if there's a possibility for the second visa. Can you, for your parting words, if can you answer their question? If there's a possibility for second visa.
As Mr. Obuz said, there's no possibility for second visa unless you have a request from an employer that he wants you specifically, and he puts the request, and there is a lot of issues that need to meet the criteria. So there would be if the criteria are all there. Things need to be checked very deeply and to see if the criteria are there. But it's very hard to get. But there is people that get it. You know,
it's for
okay.
those who are just lucky. Second visas are for those who are lucky, and for those who have the 100% chance, I guess. So with that,
Yes,
I
they
think
need to have.
we're through with that with our interview for tonight, Mr. Khron. It's already getting late, and again, thank you so much for allowing us to have this interview. And I'll give you the floor again to have your parting words, sir.
Okay, so like I said before, most of the people that I see that there is a lot of questions. Usually, I don't open the. The office is closed Fridays and Saturdays, but this Friday and Saturday I will sit and I will answer questions for people on the Facebook or on the WhatsApp, and I'll be back in the office hopefully on Sunday morning. 9 o'clock I walk in, so and I will be sitting at my desk waiting for you, and hopefully we'll get in some lawyers on Sunday to come in to discuss issues. And if you want to come to, you don't want to come to the Tachana, we have a great, beautiful, comfortable office in Amot House Tower. It's right off Evan Gvirol. Most of the people know the McDonald's in the corner by Evan Gvirol. So if you walk one block up, it's Shlomo HaMelech 8 and Shaul HaMelech 8 in Tel Aviv. It's the Amot Mishpat Tower. And just you need to set up an appointment before you come there with me. Like this, I will make sure that you have somebody over there to answer your questions. Over there, it's more of a professional office, and in the Tachana, it's more like a walk-in and first come, first serve.
Okay, I think the cut off. Your connection is being interrupted again, sir.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm just telling you all that I am committed to serve you with the best knowledge that I have, and I will try to get the best. I will try to get the best advice for you all. God bless you, and thank you for giving us your time. And it was amazing. Appreciate it. It was 370 people watching us. It's beautiful. God bless you. Power to you people, and power to Hakeren and to Israeli Filipino station. Have a good night, and I will say goodbye to you.
Yeah, thank you again, and have a good night to Mr. Yosie Khron, the managing director of Hakeren Israel Foreign Workers Fund. Ayan. Thank you again. Good night, Mr. Khron. Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Ayan, si Mr. Khron po is Mr. Khron is the managing director of the Hakeren na naka-base po sa Takana Marikasit, and meron din po silang they also have their branch in 8 Shaul Hamelek Boulevard, Tower, Tel Aviv. And then soon po magkakaroon din po sila ng sabi niya magkakaroon din po sila ng branch dito sa Jerusalem, hopefully po para marami naman po silang matulungan. And with regards to sa ating mga viewers, thank you po sa inyong lahat for listening and interacting with us tonight, and aasahan nyo po na marami pa po tayong i-discuss or marami pa po tayong i-interviewin with regards sa situation, issues, and concerns po dito sa Israel. Issues and concerns na pwede nating talakayin, and maghanap po tayo ng may interview din. To Ma'am Jerel, thank you po, thank you for the applause, but Sir Yosie po is the managing director of Hakeren. He's not an attorney. Si Attorney Ron po, on the phone kanina, yung Attorney Ron Obuz. And public service po muna tayo bago tayo mag-part ways. Sa mga viewers po natin na gustong mag-trip dito po sa Jerusalem, may trip po magaganap sa March 9, 2019, Saturday. 6 a.m. po to 2 p.m. Pupunta po kayo sa Wailing Wall, Holy Sepulchre, Mount Olives, Dormition Abbey, Room of the Last Supper, Church of All Nation, Paternoster, Dominus Fleit. Kung sino pong gustong mag-join sa trip na to, paki-PM lang po sa ating inbox at hanapin po si Miss Mayos Winkel. Again, thank you po sa ating lahat, and hopefully po is na bigyan po namin kayo ng knowledge about the special humanitarian and refugee visa. Thank you, and once again, good evening po sa ating lahat.